I was born and raised in the Bitterroot Valley in Montana, western Montana, southwestern Montana. My grandmother, who is a descendant of folks from the Umatilla tribe, told me stories about her ancestors. I was really proud of my Native American heritage. And as she told me about her tribe as I was growing up, I came to experience a great love for them and for my heritage. She told us about their cousins, the Nez Perce, or the Nez Perce, who traveled through our valley in the late 1800s, mid and late 1800s, following the buffalo herds, but also to escape the United States Army as well. Everywhere they traveled, they had to provide for themselves. They got their food from the land, they got their medicine from the land, and that's what I want to talk about today on the Preparedness Therapist. Is there's going to come a time, I believe, and I'm afraid, whether or not there comes a time, it behooves us to learn about some of the non-medication treatments for anxiety and for depression. And I'm focusing on those because I'm a therapist, and right now there's so much reliance on pharmaceuticals to help us with those illnesses and with those things that plague so many people, all of us, frankly, in our society, but not all of us are on those medications. I myself experience anxiety to a fairly high degree, as well as depression, but I've learned some non-medication ways to deal with that. And I'm not going to talk about all those right here, but what I would encourage you to do is go read on my blog the notes that I put there about some of the indigenous people and how they dealt with that. But, you know, as individuals, as these Native Americans traveled, they had to get everything they needed from the land. And that's why I'm out here in the forest right now, is because to me, it's a special place. Everything that we need is provided for us here. And this is, in fact, just briefly looking around, I see some oak trees here, some scrub oak or gamble oak trees. There's some juniper trees, some Utah cedar trees. There's some Oregon grape I saw, and where the snow is still even on the ground. I don't know if I can get some of that there. Yeah, that's it. And that we're just at the very beginning of spring. So I would encourage you to go to my blog, and I'll put the link down below, to read up on some of the things, non-medication plants, as well as some behaviors that you can do to deal with anxiety and depression. I want to say that plants, they're oftentimes used as teas. You can also bathe in them. Some of my Native American ancestors would put certain plants into their bathing waters and use those to bathe in them, and they felt that it was infused, the properties from the plant was infused into their soul. Also, there's smudging, and we're going to talk about smudging a little bit more. I'm going to make a separate video on that, but smudging is really a beneficial exercise. And I know that today our modern science in the Western world doesn't really consider some of these Eastern type things really beneficial. Well, there some are. Some of my friends who are DOs, as opposed to MDs, they kind of work with this quite a bit. But I would encourage you to look into the smudging as well. Of course, there's a lot of people who are really into essential oils, and they take the oils from the plants and then mix them with another carrier oil. And that's something that people feel is really helpful as well as aromatherapy. So our Native American ancestors, my Native American ancestors, really had their pharmaceuticals as they went with them along their routes and on the land. And they would even harvest some and carry it with them, harvest some plants, and they had access to these, and it was just provided for them. They learned to live with nature and use nature to help them out. So I would encourage you to subscribe if you would, and share this with your friends, because there's going to come a time when having this knowledge and having experience right now that you can gain when we're not in a crisis by using some of these plants is going to be very beneficial to you. So yeah, hey, thanks for watching. Hope this isn't boring. I made another video and it was so boring I couldn't even stand it. My kids helped me out a little bit. So go to the blog and read some of the details on Native American medicines and that come from plants and how to use those. Thanks for watching.